Hi there everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're gonna show a little bit of upgrades that Martin did to the boat, but before that he's gonna go over why we don't have WN numbers on our boat, as we get asked that all the time. So take it away, Martin.
Okay, so one other thing I want to talk about, registration numbers. So if you look on our boat, we do not have WN numbers. We won't ever have WN numbers. We have our name of the boat right there. And we have our name of the boat right there. And right there is what's most important, because it's got the hailing port, it's got the name of the boat, and the letters are, I believe, 4 inches tall. And they have to be 4 inches tall all the way through per the Coast Guard regulation. And because we're documented with U.S. Coast Guard, we still pay all of Washington State registration. I don't get out on taxes at all. And then I have to pay the Coast Guard an additional, which is usually about 25–30 bucks a year for their piece. And they give me a documentation number. So I do have numbers, much like your WN numbers would be. Here's where I put them. A little bit hard to see. So I can get some good light down here. So right there, just trying to light down there, you can barely see that, but that's the plaque. This says NO period and then the number, and it has to be permanently affixed to the hull in such a way that if it was taken off, you would clearly notice that it was removed. And these letters, I think, have to be, I think it's also 4 inches tall. There's a certain size requirement for them. Right, but that's how boat documentation works. And basically in English, what documentation does is, instead of having a state issued title, it ends up being the boat's titled through the Coast Guard at the federal level. And that's why the state won't give you registration numbers, because they don't want to be they can't register a boat that's Coast Guard documented. And it has to do with bank paperwork, and for us, we did it just because we didn't want the WN numbers in the front of the boat. That was the main reason why we did it. It was vanity.
You know what's funny about this is I so thought you were going to the Port Lazarette, because I forgot you moved the batteries. If you haven't seen that video, we moved our house batteries into the cockpit. It's pretty easy to undo. That was pretty good. You set that up perfect.
Making sure you don't overcharge or undercharge your batteries is very important for the life of the batteries.
You just put it on the one?
That's negative.
Oh, no, the one battery?
Yeah, I got 2 batteries. So obviously there'll be slight voltage difference between the two. I don't know that it'll be all that much, because they are pretty close to each other. But I'm putting it on the battery closest to the loads. That way when this battery's topped off, it should stop, so the further one shouldn't get overcharged. Another thing to note too, I see a lot of this, when you do battery connections, you put multiple things on there. Just zoom in and get a closer look at that.
Okay.
You always stack them like a pyramid. Put your biggest things on the bottom and your smallest things on the top. So that's why the battery monitor being the smallest connectors are on the very top. Otherwise you create a gap, and then you have to have all this high current run through that little small connector at the end of these. There you go. And now hook it up to the Victron. Spend a little bit of time here in the app. There's the battery voltage of the house bank. And that gives me battery voltage and temperature from this battery to the solar charger over there. And then make sure you configure the Victron so those kind of batteries you have. You do not have gel Victron, which is the default apparently. So I need to pick AGM. That's what I have. Alright.
And while he's been doing all that, I have put some non-slip stuff in all of my shelves, my drawers, and I even put it up here. Not that anything really moved up here, but now it just looks nice and tidy. Looks so much better. It's such an improvement. Look at that. Nice.